it's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. And oh, what a tip I have for you. So, some of you may recognize we are in La Jolla. This is one of my first major installations. It's 9 years old, and our clients are getting older and really want to dial it back. So I blew it out 9 years ago. It's okay. I blew it out. Tapestries up the wazoo, you know, I did what I do. And it's been great and they've loved it. But they're just traveling a lot more now and they really want to edit. So this is the first time we've really done a major edit and I'm excited to show you the transformation. So before, we're going to start example. So this was stunning when it was installed. And for many years after, I had this really, really tight, beautiful tapestry all running through here. And it's just kind of lost its way, right? So rather than redo the tapestry, which is an absolute option, absolutely an option, but they don't want to do that. They don't want to go to the expense. They don't want to, invest the time. I'm going to edit out a bunch of these plants. I'm going to leave, obviously, the Aloe Dorothiae, those beautiful orange aloes that I adore so much. I'm going to leave this Crassula, this Ovata variegate. I'm going to get rid of this Macrocarpus. I'm going to get rid of that Jade. I'm going to get rid of the Ungi. I'm going to get rid of all this fussy mussy here. I'm going to leave the Dickia. I think I'm going to try to figure out something else to put in this pot because the Cameroni, I just, it's like a placeholder.
It's also sunk a lot. If you look in there, there's flapjacks.
There's paddle plants in there too because this is sunk. And look at this. This was so pretty for so long and isn't anymore. So I think what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take all that out. Then I'm going to move this Millii over. I'm going to move the Millii over there. And I'm going to take this variegated jade out. Leave this little aloe here. Remove the little aloe behind it. This Pachypodium lemurei is great. It stays. Over here, this is the corner of death. We tried bougainvillea here for years. I think we replanted 4 times. We wanted it to grow up and over the arch. And it just never took. Then we tried, I don't even remember. I mean, we've tried so many things. Even the Synodenium grantii is struggling here. So Hannah had a genius idea. We should put a pot. Just put a pot here and call it a day. So we'll see if they'll do that. This, there's some of you that are going to look at this and go, oh my God, that's gorgeous. Don't change a thing. And it's probably those of you that live in hostile climates that would look at that and say, oh, that's so gorgeous. And it has its own beauty, but it's not sustainable and it is a lot and it is overgrown. So we are going to take all of this out, cut it up, and reset quite a bit of it and leave some space in between the plants and expose. I've got a lot of rock work too that's completely buried. I've got layers and layers of rock. So open that up. Remember, the goal is to make this garden manageable so that my designers can come once a month to do general maintenance without needing special service. Because right now, every couple of years, Howard needs me to come and with a crew and do all this dial back stuff. And that's what he wants to avoid moving forward. So to do that, he has to be willing to give up a lot of the pomp. So this will all be, aeoniums are really easy to manage, and this is a great time of the year to work with them because they are in their active phase, they're not dormant. So we'll probably take out the jades and just reset aeoniums here and around the tree. This is common space, it's association, so we want to keep it extremely basic. And well, there's nothing more basic than mounds of green aeoniums. So that's what we'll do there. The creeping fig is all coming down, not out, but down. And we'll go through with a brush and clean all this up. But I love Ficus Repens because unlike ivy, it doesn't ruin your stucco. It doesn't get into the structure that it's clinging to. It peels off, kind of like when you're a kid and you put glue on your fingers and let it dry and peeled it. That's what Ficus Repens does. Now, see this up here? you know, this is a little unfortunate. But the client understands that that's just the nature of the beast. They're willing to overlook that. And the idea is that this plant is going to grow back and we're going to keep it open, fingering out. We're not going to let it get clumpy or overgrown. So this is something that I like to do with the Repens every year at around this time. And then it generally grows very slowly throughout the year and you don't have to just maintain. Here, also, this was so stunning. And it's such a cute little tapestry. And I'm so melancholy. I mean, I had a little fire glass and I had so many things. But now what I'm going to do is support all these bromeliads, which are happy as little clams. Get rid of a lot of the extraneous plant material. And when I say get rid of, I don't mean throw it in the trash. Rehome, repurpose. Yeah, and the diamondia is all coming out, and we're just going to have the rock in between the stones. The pots in the corner there, we used to have fruit trees in them. But again, with all the travel, it was difficult to maintain them. Also, they insisted on drippers in the pots, and that is not the way to water fruit trees. They don't like having wet feet, and it was just too irregular. So I love the succulents in those pots, and this is going to be redone completely. We're going to take it all apart and replant this beautiful hanger, and that is something that the crew will maintain on a monthly basis. And then this area in here, on this side, I still don't know what to do. I'm not feeling any inspiration right now, but that's okay because I will know when I know, and we'll just learn together. So you can see all the, I've got pebbles, I've got gravels, I've got lavas, I've got rubble, I've got all kinds of interesting rock in here. Not loving these Sansevieria, not happy. Look at how yellow they are.
Yeah, they haven't been happy.
Ugh, yeah, so those will come out. Loving the bromeliads, though. They are living their best life here, aren't they?
We fill up their cups every month.
Yeah, they look great. And, oh, God, yeah, look at this. Some of my best work. I'm so proud. Look at this lovely thing. We've got a dying Synodenium grantii, a dying Sansevieria. This is Senecio. The Jacobensii actually.
This is just thirsty now.
It's just thirsty, yeah. This is a great plant. It gets very, very purple when it's thirsty. Look at this poor bromeliad.
Because we haven't been here for a few months.
Yeah, we haven't been here for a few months because we were anticipating this big renovation, and it didn't make sense to come and putter around when we needed to just get in here with our sleeves rolled up. So all of these agave moonshines are coming out. This is so cute. I mean, I bought these, remember, this was 9 years ago. I didn't really know, obviously didn't know what I know now. And they were really little and really cute. But they're not sustainable here. So these will be rehomed. Yeah, this is just, these are going to be, what we're going to be doing in here ultimately will be just one-offs. And we'll be obviously moving plants around that exist in the yard, but I'm also going to be bringing in some new things. Obviously, the barrel cactus are thriving, as they always do. This Synodenium, all the Synodeniums are coming out of this yard, all of them. And the Millii are super happy. And I'm thinking that I will move these Millii over to the other side of the house where I have Synodeniums right now that don't look good. So you'll see that in a minute. Another stand of moonshine. You can see why that's just not working. It's too, obviously, way too narrow of a space to support this type of plant. The Argentea sunsets are great. I've got a lot of Cameronii in this garden, which we will support, but we'll be taking most of them out, cutting them and resetting, because this is a bush aloe, and they're just a little too bushy. The gutters have held up beautifully over the years. However, we had some ficus grow on them, so they chipped. Greg is going to be repainting the gutters. But look how cute. Look at these two. Terry and Hannah have done a great job keeping up with the gutters. It's not hard, is it? You know, when you have a succulent garden, just to tuck things in. Little cuttings, little pieces. And, yeah, and these, you know, are watered every month by Hannah and Terry, but we're so close to the ocean. Such a coastal influence that it never gets hot here. So once a month is absolutely sufficient for these plants and for the pots. And speaking of pots, also the ladies have done a phenomenal job maintaining the pots. But I think what I'm going to do moving forward, I am going to make some edits so that we have, like that aloe ferox, we have more specimens in the pots. Maybe we'll introduce some mangaves, some mammillarias, some things that can stand alone, so we don't have to deal with all of the fussiness. We have fussiness in the gutters. Maybe we'll keep the pots cleaner, just with, you know, interesting succulent one-offs. Look at this Bicarnia with the blue glass in the green pot. I mean, that's so cool. Yeah, and this crest, Lactea crest, is stunning. No extra charge. But you know, so this vibe is what I'm feeling, and this not so much. So yeah, that's a decision I'm making right now, is to yank out all of these busy pots and just plant specimens in them, because we do have a fairly significant amount of pots. Here, our little cactuses. Yeah, this, I might let this go. That's kind of neat. And this client loves color. They have the most beautiful, colorful home. Not afraid of color. So, yeah, I think this trio will let ride.
And that, talk about the barrel real quick. That's been like that for years.
Yeah, this barrel cactus has been in this pot with this little seed, with this, what is that, a ghosty, looks like, for years. Yeah. Just donkey years. Just sitting there, behaving, being happy, living together. Isn't that funny? They're so different, yet compatible, because they just love each other so much. Then this hot mess, oh my gosh, how I have evolved. I was so all about Synodenium 9 years ago, and now I understand its potential, and it's not the greatest plant for 2-foot wide beds. So this is all coming out, every single thing you see in here, and we're starting over with a blank slate. And you'll have to tune in tomorrow to see what I choose for this bed. Little intrigue for you there. Then this is going to be interesting. This jade wall. I want to keep these. I'm not, kind of like in Claremont, when we did that, San Diego Claremont, when we did the maintenance there. These are, you know, they're starting to get older, and I want to do more bonsaiing with the jades. I don't want to cut and reset, cut and reset, cut and reset. So I'm going to leave these in the ground and just open them up and lace them out and see how that works. This is interesting, how we go boom, 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 and then we got this little guy, then another big one, and then 2 dwarfed ones. And these aloes are going, obviously, they look a hot mess. But why these 2 jade have stunted is interesting, when right to the left and right, they're thriving. Who knows? We'll see. So, yeah, these are going to get all laced out. This is a little Crosby's compact, and there's nothing compact about it. Look at how leggy it is. That is gross. That's coming out. I like this bigger jade. This is actually Argentea Sunset Jade, believe it or not. Although it's not yellow because it's, I guess, too shady. But still, it's a pretty thing to put. It's innocuous. And here is what the creeping fig, you know, looks like left unchecked. But, you know, it was, I don't regret this decision I made 9 years ago to plant these, because this wall is huge and these beds are narrow and the house is right here. And what do? And they want to look through the windows and see something green. So It was a good choice. These we are not going to take down to the ground today. We're just going to lower them to about, you know,
maybe a little further down.
Yeah, about eye level, and or even down to here, down to here, because there's a lip on the wall here. If we cut them down to here, then this can stay always, and then you can just kind of keep up with what's happening up here. And look at the detritus on the lava rock. See, this is something 9 years ago I didn't know that I know now is I wouldn't have done lava in here. I would have done something lighter. I would have done like a chamois beige or a Cali gold, or maybe just even decomposed granite, because I know with the leaf drop what happens to your lava rock. So we'll fluff all this up. Look how gross these synodenium look. These and all the hail damage on the leaves. Yep, these are coming out, and this is where the millie eyes are going to go. We've got 2 guest room windows here that they just want to see something. So we'll have the fig, and then we'll have some millie eyes that we're hoping will grow tall enough to be seen through the windows. And then out here, this was genius, just rock. just rock. And then this macrocarpus, Petalanthus macrocarpus. It looks kind of gross right now, but that's just because it's wintertime and it's dormant and dropped all its leaves and flowers. But I'll just, you know, I'm going to lace this out a little bit, but we like that there. And this Petalanthus is phenomenal, but over 9 years' time, you know, it's just been cut back too much, and it's starting to get kind of woody down at the base. And granted, we covered it up with the aeonium, so, you know, there's that. But I'm thinking about the maintenance and the time that the ladies are spending every month, and I don't want them to have to invest time thinning this out. So today, we'll dig it out, and we'll set it back as cuttings, which means we're going to have a lot of Petalanthus to rehome. This millie eye, we're just going to limb. The client, he wants it to be smaller. I don't know. Okay. So we make that smaller. Obviously the barrels stay because they're barrels and they're fantastic. And this stand of Cameronii, we're going to cut it all up too, reset this big beautiful mom, and then we will find homes for all of her babies. We're going to get rid of that undulata that looks like it's just not getting anything to drink there.
It's funny because the grass.
Yeah, you know, I mean, look at how green these things are. And obviously there's this grass, and then there's this poor ungi that just looks absolutely devastated. This, you know what, this would be a really good place for a rock. Just a rock. We don't need plants everywhere. So taking this out, I will need to find something to put in its place. And it may end up being just some leftover aeoniums, or maybe a little piece of Argentea sunset. But yeah, that is coming out. So, boy, do we have our work cut out for us or what? We better get on with it. And so we're going to check in with you again tomorrow. We're going to continue demolishing today, and then tomorrow I will come early with a bunch of new things, and we will reinvent the wheel. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity, reporting from La Jolla with your succulent tip of the day. Bye, guys.